Are put options dangerous? Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we will be discussing that question. Are put options dangerous? What do you think? You think put options are dangerous? Let me know in the comments. Put options are dangerous and they're not dangerous at the same time. It depends how you use them. There's several ways to use put options. So it's really a kind of vague question. Are put options dangerous? You could buy put options, you could sell put options. If you're buying put options when you should be selling or selling when you should be buying, you might run into some problems. In fact, right up here is going to be a link to a 40-minute long video that will give you a thorough explanation of selling and buying put options. Click that link, save it somewhere, finish watching this video, and then go watch that when you have time. Let's keep discussing the danger of selling put options. You know, all trading, investing involves varying degrees of risk. So what your job is to be aware of those risks and attempt to mitigate them. What does mitigate mean? Well, I just happen to have the definition right here. Mitigate means to make less severe, serious, or painful. So your job is to be aware of the risks and figure out ways to lessen those risks. Stock options are powerful instruments. Like anything of power, they can have disastrous outcomes if unwisely used. Let's look at some other examples to put this into context. How about airplanes? Could airplanes be disastrous? Could they be dangerous if they were unwisely used? Absolutely. You can do a handy-dandy internet search and you could find more than one occasion that there was a disastrous result because of somehow the improper use of an airplane. The airplanes could potentially kill people, cause injury. At minimum, sometimes improperly use an airplane is a bar and they get a little too tipsy. Next thing you know, they might be fist fighting on the airplane and then getting arrested. So if unwisely used, airplanes could potentially have disastrous results. How about a car? Beep, beep. You probably have heard of a car. You might have one. You've probably driven one. Have you ever heard about or known anyone, or maybe yourself, had an injury from a vehicle? Have you ever been killed from a car accident? Haha, it's a trick question, isn't it? Because if you were killed, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. But you might know someone that has. Again, you could do a handy-dandy internet search and find out lots of people have been unfortunately died or had bad bodily harm, or even just a little bodily harm from the improper use of cars. And just to set the record straight, no one has been died or had bodily harm from put options. So maybe cars and airplanes are more dangerous than put options. You know, we can list several things that if used unwisely could be dangerous. Saws, hammers, axes, hatchets, scissors, knives, pencils, pens. There's all types of things that if unwisely used could be dangerous. So some would say it's not the put option that's dangerous, but the investor is the dangerous one. Stock options in general have a reputation of people losing money. Their stock options have more complexity to them than just buying a stock. There's several factors that go in. So it takes a little more education. It's a little more to it. However, in my 15 years of learning how to trade, the biggest reason, the number one reason I see people losing money with options or trading in general is due to one word: greed. Greed, my friends. That's the number one reason I see people losing money. Greed is an emotion. And when emotion goes up, intelligence goes down. I learned that from Robert Kiyosaki. And when intelligence goes down, you will be tempted to take excessive risks. At times, those risks can manifest. I know for a fact I have been tempted by greed. I fell victim to it, and I took excessive risks, and I lost money. So here's some ways that greed can manifest. Now, this is not the be-all, end-all list. This is just some ways. Not following preset trading rules. Trading too large of position size. Using excessive leverage. Using strategies you don't know how to adjust. And taking too much risk. Generally, whatever is happening, it's going to be happening with some thought of, just this one time, it's going to work. Just this once. This is work. I know it's going to work. I know it is. Da, da, da. Something along those lines. And to counter some of these things, what we would do to do the opposite, you want to follow preset trading rules. You want to trade appropriate position size. Underuse leverage. Use strategies you know how to adjust. Risk as much as you are comfortable losing. Each one of these has things under it that you might have to learn. And the reality of being a profitable trader, being a lucrative trader, trading enough where it makes a difference in your monthly income, the reality is it is a refined skill set. So there's a lot of stuff to learn. So if you say, well, I don't know any rules, you have to learn. You don't know how to adjust. Well, maybe you have to get a paper trading account and do some complex strategies and figure out how to adjust them while things are going wrong. You got to put in the work, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reality of it. Follow these things, but you might have to do some work to figure out exactly what a proper position size is. However, there is something that is not completely easy, but I hope it's going to put a smile on your face and brighten the day a little bit. And that is to consider selling cash secured put options on a stock or a handful of stocks that you wouldn't mind owning the rest of your life if you had to. When you do this, when you're selling a cash secured put option on a stock that you wouldn't mind owning the rest of your life if you had to, the only risk is that the stock goes to zero, goes bankrupt. But we have several stocks that have been trading for 50 years, 100 years. So if you, again, do some due diligence, learn how to pick a stock fairly well, you can be in a good position. Even if the price of the stock is trading lower than the price that you bought it for. As long as you're okay with owning the stock the rest of your life and the stock remains solvent, doesn't go bankrupt, eventually you're going to be in a very, very good position. In fact, I'm going to link a video at the end of this video. I'll link to a video that's about 20 minutes long that will give you a lot of detail in how exactly to sell cash secured put options. A strategy that I love. It's not the only strategy I do, but it is a strategy that I do all the time, pretty much regardless of circumstance. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you access to not one, not two, but three stocks I sell cash secured put options on for absolutely free. And in fact, without charging you any extra than free, I'm also going to throw in not one, not two, not three, not five or above, but three underused tactics to transform your financial results. These tactics can help you in the stock market. They can help you in anything. I happen to learn those, at least one of them from Robert Kiyosaki also. So ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is go to iofsuccess.com, put in your information, click that big old button there, download both today, and you can have those for the low price of $0. I got one thing for you before we end. Maybe a little more on a serious note, you be the judge of that. It's a quote from Andy Stanley, and I think it's very fitting. Greed is not a financial issue. It's an issue of the heart. Therefore, to be a successful trader, you must work on your emotions. You must learn to control your fear and your greed.